Greetings, my excellent friends, and welcome back to the story of Hildibrand Manderville. My name is Gavaroc Fevinor, and with me are my ever-loyal Gala kitten, gazing longingly up at me, as well as our stars, the gentlemanly Hildibrand Manderville, the assistantly Nashu Makaraka, and the sardonically Ellie, reporter of the Mithril Eye. We are on the trail of an octopus. Oh, don't worry, it's a giant octopus that talks and is incredibly pervy. What do you mean that makes it worse? Oh, actually, yes, I suppose it does. Like immeasurably so. Well, guess we better get on with it. Nashi, what do you think about this?
Poor Mr. Ultros didn't seem to have much luck with the ladies.
Yes, that's because he's a fucking creep.
Speaking only for myself, I'd love to have him for dinner. Perhaps in a nice lemon butter sauce?
What price victory? Hildibrand is contemplating the implications of Ultros' behavior. Poor misunderstood Ulti. Here we suspected him of criminal activity, when in truth he was just a gentle soul, luckless in love. Oh, Ulti, can you find it in your squishy, slimy heart to forgive us?
Yes. Now, perhaps we should return to our investigation? If Avila is as suspicious as they say, perhaps we should follow her around for a bit. Dower Meadow back at the Colosseum should be able to enlighten us as to her whereabouts.
An excellent idea, Miss Ellie, but I have a better one. Let us return to the Colosseum and speak with Dower Meadow. From him we shall ascertain Miss Avila's whereabouts, upon which we shall follow her about to see if she is indeed as suspicious as they say. Come, Nashu, the investigation calls.
Don't think Uncle Ulti didn't see you following me. What's the big idea, huh? I'm nothing more than a stupid octopus. Or am I?
Ah, Ultros, of course, taking from the Giancarlo Esposito School of Acting.
Come on now, I just want what any octopus wants. A cute girl, untold riches, and the admiration of millions. Can't Uncle Ulti dream? Well, kids, hate to ink and run. Then again, I am an octopus.
Unsure as to who Ultros was talking to, but nonetheless able to overhear him in his sinister monologuing, I shrugged it off and continued in pursuit of Hildibrand. Sure to myself that the situation would resolve on its own without my assistance. Also, I didn't have any other options. Yes, what is it this time? I'm a busy man. Looking for Avila, you say? She said something about sharing a flagon with her countrymen over at the Coffer and Coffin. I reckon you might still find her there. I'll warn you, though, if you're smart, you'll keep your distance from that one. That poor bugger Ganelon tried to interview her for an article. Thought the girl was going to rip his head clean off. How can I put this? She doesn't seem to take kindly to being asked questions of a personal nature, if you catch my drift. That said, if you're looking for a good sparring match to warm you up for the tourney, that might just be the ticket. I can assure you there will be no need for gratuitous fisticuffs, my good sir. With my remarkable powers of espionage, we will ascertain all the information we need without the fiery lass even being alerted to our presence. Let us be off. And we travel to the nostalgic little pub, the Coffer and Coffin. A place that many a young adventurer would have stopped by in their early days as they traveled the wilds of Thanaland, murdering their first tiny woodland creatures in an attempt to gain the strength necessary to tackle gods. But hey, those antlings and syrphid clouds and hammerbeaks died so that Eorzea may be saved. What nobler sacrifice could there be? Behold, the lovely Miss Avila, just as predicted. Let us keep watch from here, so as not to set off the girl's famed temper.
How many times must I tell you? There is no cause for concern. The spoils shall be mine. It may as well be written stone. Do you realize what this means? We have suffered and suffered long, but my victory shall mark a new era. Just as Rauban al-Din won a new life for himself in the Colosseum, I shall win a new life for our people. The prize that I shall claim will bolster the wealth of our people 10,000-fold. In a land where wealth is power, we will be kicked to the gutter by the Uldans no longer. And with that, I must be off to the Nanawa mines to meet my sister.
Miss Avila's self-assurance is ever a sight to behold. I deduce that my own chances of felling her on the field of battle are infinitesimal.
I could have told you that before you signed up. Come now, we have a suspect to pursue. The octopus lurks.
Trying to steal Avila from Uncle Alty's tentacles, are you? I'm afraid that isn't going to happen. Yes, Uncle Alty's homemade explosive will see that this is the end of the road for you. Does that make me a bad octopus?
Ah, the distinctive smell of fire sand. Another one of your handcrafted explosives, I take it, Nashu?
Heavens no, Inspector. This is far too elaborate to be one of mine. Do you think whoever crafted this would be willing to give me a lesson?
They're onto me? Preposterous! Could it be that Musclehead isn't as stupid as he looks?
I see. In any event, I shudder to think of what might happen if an unsuspecting passerby chanced upon such a hazardous object. Allow me. Heave! Ho!
You gotta be kidding me!
But the best laid plans of mice and octopi often go awry. And as the tiniest violin ever crafted plays a lament for Ultros, we continue. That maiden in mining garb must be the sister of whom Miss Avila spoke. Let us listen a bit closer.
I thought we agreed. No hard labour until your leg is healed. I swear, sometimes I think you were born solely to give your poor sister headaches. Says the girl who once fought off 10 Imperials with one good arm. Perhaps someday you'll understand that your little sister can take care of herself just as well as you. Speaking of which, what news of the tourney? Worry not, Hegelina. I've taken all the necessary precautions. The Warden's grace is as good as ours. Even the most modest estimates value its worth at some 30 million gil. Do you realize what this means? Necklaces from Eshthames, sun-silk dresses, all the luxuries you've ever wanted will be yours. The poor little girls in shabby clothes, objects of pity and scorn for the Uldan upper crust, those days are over. After I claim victory, we will take our rightful place at the top of society. I don't know, Avi. Wealth is all well and good, but when I see you stand tall in the Colosseum, hundreds and thousands cheering your name, I am proud. No matter how humble our birth, if we stand strong and stand together, this alone is all the wealth I ask for. That is your problem, Hegelina. You've always been too quick to settle for less than you're worth. But worry not, for your sister is watching over you. I will do this. For us. That's my Avi. Unfazed by a duel to the death, yet terrified to be caught in a moment of tenderness. May the gods smile on you, sister, and be safe.
It was at this point that I realized I skipped a line accidentally. And Avila had gone on to say,
Now I must return. Gods forbid one of those prying reporters overhears us.
A more moving display of sisterly love I have not seen, and yet I fear it has afforded us little in the way of prospective clues.
It would seem Avila's obsession with victory runs even deeper than we imagined. That said, I can't help but feel a bond with the girl. My sister and I were alone in the world too, you see. Inspector! Did you just hear what I heard?
Look, kids! Uncle Alty has had it up to here with you. Do you think you could just fall in this pit and die like a good little boy? I'm talking to you, Mr. Warrior of Light. Hear that sound? Just one step closer. Closer! Oh, not you, you idiot!
Ahem! No need for concern, friends. I have simply taken the liberty of investigating this hole in the ground, and I am pleased to report that there seems to be nothing out of the ordinary.
Our hero. Now shall we return to Uldar? The Mithril Cup will be starting before long, and the last thing we want after all this is to lose our bout by forfeit.
Could it be? Did that musclehead dive straight into my trap to save his companions? The others seem completely unsurprised at this turn of events. Doubtless he has performed such selfless acts before. A true gentleman if I ever saw one. But if you think that means I'm gonna show mercy on you, you've got another thing coming! Time to break out the big guns, kids! Wait a minute. I done 2 pits, didn't I? Come to think of it, the second one was right around... Give me a break!
With the sound of Ultros' shame echoing downwards into the bowels of the earth, we carry on unconcerned. Did any of us even notice the octopus was there? Hard to say. But I did. Kept my mouth shut about it, mostly because I don't seem to be able to talk in this universe, but nonetheless, I did see him. Whatever does he think he's found this time? Yes? Is something the matter? We're on something of a tight schedule here, Inspector.
Stand back, Miss Ellie. My well-honed inspector's senses are tingling. I fear a most fearsome adversary lurking about. Where are you?
This time you're really up the creek without a paddle, kids. Say hello to a not-so little friend of mine from the Colosseum. He's large, he's in charge, and most of all, he's hungry. Where in the world is he? I haven't got all day. My Chimera! Who is that half-naked fool? Ah!
Father! Could it be that the aura of unmitigated murderous rage that I felt was not our quarry, but you? Hildy!
I was merely taking a stroll in search of inspiration and materials for my newest masterpiece in the making. And what brings you and your friends to these parts today?
Just a bit of sleuth work, father dear, and with that we must return to Uldar. If you have not heard, your son is set to compete for the Mithril Cup.
Oh, moonlighting as a gladiator, are we? A fitting second career for a Manderville man, if I do say so myself.
That muscle-bound old man is the inspector's father? Remind me never to go to one of their family reunions. Just who is this inspector, anyway? I'm too angry, I can't even laugh like a maniac.
Hildy is a worthy rival, if ever there was one.
Who goes there?
Hildy, Gavaroc, I have been waiting for this day.
Well, looky who we have here. You're quite the intimidating gent yourself. A friend of the inspector, mayhap?
I am Gilgamesh, wandering duelist, and I am not so much the inspector's friend as his enemy.
Well, that makes two of us. Perk up, Gulliver, because this might just be our lucky day.
Is there no one in this accursed realm who can remember my... call me what you will, friend, but heed my words. Gavaroc is a most formidable foe.
That's sounding like high praise, coming from a big fella like yourself. To have such a powerhouse as his sidekick, that inspector must be something else indeed.
I know not what brings you to do battle with those two, but I warn you, you will end up as seafood soup if you face them alone. And with that, I must be off. For reasons that I do not entirely understand, I am considered something of a fugitive in these parts. Gavaroc. I will not fall so easily this time.
Well, it looks like I got my legs full. All 8 of them. But if that adventure is too strong to take on alone, I'll just have to bring along a friend. I got my laugh back. Perfect.
A supple twisting ring calling to mind the undulations of a creature of the sea. Yes, inspiration has struck.
Nobody here but us octopodes. Bye.
Look forward to your next life as a masterpiece, fiend!
Muscleheads! I hate 'em!
And so, in the key of F, we pay our respects to Ultros. For once, the mighty hammer of Godbert Manderville lays itself upon you.
There is no returning from such a state. Surely, we would never see the octopus again.
Good heavens! Chancing upon father like that. I dare say it's taken a year off my life. Quite a crowd has assembled. It would seem the festivities are nigh about to commence. I had hoped to uncover more of Miss Avila's secrets, but no matter. What better place to continue my investigation than on the field of battle?
And indeed, for once I felt ready and raring to go, so I opted to continue. Hildibrand appears to be in something of a hurry, as am I. The trouble with truffles.
Good heavens! We haven't much time before the tourney begins. We must hasten back to the Colosseum and apprise ourselves on the rules of engagement. To a true gentleman, the battle is not about victory or defeat, but fighting with honor. Whatever treachery or guile my opponents may employ, I must not, I will not, lower myself to their level.
Return to the Colosseum.
Is it just me, or is Mr. Ultros a bit lumpier than he was before?
Ultros is still around? Fascinating. However did he survive his encounter with the Goldsmith of Doom?
Bumps on the head, chipped teeth. I am one shabby-looking octopus, I tell you. They don't pay me enough for this. But that's all gonna change soon. Isn't it, buddy?
Ah, Mr. Ultros. Just the octopus we were looking for. I was hoping that you might enlighten us as to... Ye gads! Who gave you those ghastly bruises?
Bruises? I fell down the stairs, that's all. Now get lost, I'm a busy octopus.
Ouch! You have my sympathies, good sir. It is challenge enough to coordinate 4 limbs, let alone 8. Is there someone inside your office?
No? Whatever gave you that idea? I am simply fumigating the place for pests. Pests like yourself. Now don't you have a battle to go fight? Inspector, I think something's alive in there. That's just me, talking to myself. Yes, gods, yes, gods! Working as a receptionist is fun.
Battered, bruised, beset by vermin, and still able to find joy and fulfillment in your work? I say, Mr. Ultros, your passion for your chosen profession is truly an inspiration to us all.
Gavaroc, if you would come with me for a moment. I fear the stupidity in the air may be contagious. Well, I wouldn't want to get sick.
Mr. Ultros is truly a man after my own heart. A gentleman among octopodes.
Listening to Mr. Ultros talk truly is inspiring. I say, he's looking more appetizing by the minute.
Nashu, I do believe it would be illegal to eat the octopus. Mostly because the octopus is alive. And sentient and can talk. Well, has your investigation borne any fruit? I see. Avila seeks to win the tourney to claim a fortune and raise her and her sister out of poverty. Furthermore, she has implied that she has taken the necessary precautions to ensure that her victory is all but certain. While trailing her, you narrowly evaded a series of dastardly obstacles, and upon your return, that strange octopus appeared considerably worse for the wear. The evidence points in one direction. The Alamegan girl and Ultros are plotting together to claim the Mistral Cup and its lucrative prize. It is not as preposterous as it sounds. I have done some research on our eight-legged friend. It would appear that Ultros has become something of a regular at Uldan's taverns and houses of pleasure. I suspect that he is using his inside knowledge of the workings of the Colosseum to identify and eliminate potential threats, thereby assuring victory for Avila and earning himself a healthy commission. There is also the matter of the Tempest Blade that is rumoured to be the source of the Alamegan girl's strength. This remains a mystery, which means that I fear your life is still in danger, Gavaroc. One of the guards informed me that several crates of refuse from the Colosseum reception room were hastily discarded in Pearl Lane not bells ago. It is a stab in the dark, but the contents may yet provide some answers. I would ask you to bring them to me. Well then. Searching through the garbage. A job truly fitting of the Warrior of Light. Slayer of gods. Saviour of nations. Endurer of several irritating NPCs. Yes, it is completely within character that we would be sorting through the garbage. Loath though I am to admit it. And indeed it seems somebody else is sorting through the garbage as well. Faced with the tedium of mostly pointless busy work, I found myself with precious little to say about it. As though it was truly one of the dullest tasks that the story of Hildibrand Manderville had afforded me up to this point. But the good news about completing the dullest task is that it's only uphill from there. Literally, as I have to ascend a staircase. Well, let me see what you found. Boxes of garbage. Now what have we here? Ah, yes, a spectacular assortment of innards and entrails, and what's this? A sack, even more foul-smelling than the gore it was lying in, if that can be believed. And look here, something appears to be written on the side. Sintgat Sundries. It would seem this merchant has had dealings with that squishy mass of tentacles. Let us pay a visit to the man and have him enlighten us as to the exact nature of their partnership. And to the markets we go, to deliver a stinking sack to Sintgat. Not the first time I have presented somebody with a stinking sack. Usually they're not particularly keen to receive it. Welcome, welcome! What might a discerning gentleman like yourself be looking for today? I'm sorry, sir, but if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. No exchanges, replacements, or refunds. I stand by the quality of my wares, and I expect my customers to do the same. Wait now. Did Ultros send you? I'll be asking the questions here. What exactly did you sell to that ungodly creature? Why, an entire sack full of gold truffles. Can you believe it? What with the impressive price and that distinctive aroma, they're only for the most discerning of customers, which Mr. Ultros clearly is, as he just placed another order today. Could these truffles somehow be connected to... No, I shall stop myself before I start sounding like... Inspector Priardian! It wounds me that you would sneak off to conduct your investigation without me, and to steal away Gavaroc here. This gentleman is not impressed. Did you find anything, Inspector? Good gods, what is that dreadful smell?
Miss Ellie, I would have expected a cultured young woman like yourself to be more educated in the Epicurean arts. That is the most distinct and delightful aroma of the gold truffle. An acquired taste, to be sure, but one that has won the heart of many an Uldan gourmet. I particularly enjoy them slow-roasted, as my dear mother makes them. Roasted, you say? Why, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. Might I be so bold as to ask the recipe?
It appears the productive portion of this conversation has come to an end. Besides, the tourney is about to begin. Let us make haste back to the Colosseum. And indeed, I do agree, as this lengthy yet also short chapter draws to a close, given that we snuck in an extra little part there, mostly because it was much shorter than the rest. Nonetheless, it is almost time for the tourney, and I will need a few moments to gather the strength necessary to bring my fighting spirit to bear.